How many of you don't agree it's a good slide? How many of you are petrified? And here's Uncle Tony, and maybe you give the wrong answer. And if you give the wrong answer, I will know. And 999 will know that you gave the wrong one. I think it's an okay slide, but on one level it's really bad. It's appalling. It's appalling. And you will find out why I think that a little bit later. This is a different slide. This is a different form of introduction. And I'm going to zap it up. I'm going to tell you nothing about it, and you work it out. What is it? What is it? Chat, underneath chat. Thank you. But with your colleagues, 3, 4, 5 or 6 of you, have a quick chat and just tell each other, what in God's name is that? What's that? Starting now. Quick conversation.
You both can speak. I'm inside.
Hello, Viju, how are you?
Sorry?
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think it is?
Just on mute.
What do you think it is?
I know about mind map, so
We are both inside.
yeah.
So both of you
Being
are
a
the
neuroscience,
same
and I normally say it's connected memories, the connectome. When we speak about something, which are all the
Speak louder so it comes here. No, she can't hear. Sandhya can't hear.
No, I was saying it's the connected memories attached to that one any. So in this case is Professor Tony Buzan. So the moment you think, what are all the memories that your brain takes you to?
Interesting.
I always look at mind map as that. There's something called a concept of connectome. So every concept, the moment you think, say, a dog, which I think is what he's going to say.
Okay, team.
And then it keeps going down that road to the
That
or you force your
obviously is a what? That is a mind map. That is a mind map. It is a map of thinking. It's how you work. That is like a map of a city. And if you go to a city you've never been to before, what do you need to find your way around? A map. And when there are images and colours and things in it, you know exactly where your favourite restaurants are, where your cultural stadiums are, where the main roads are, all of that. And if you have no information, and you can't even see where the sun is, you don't know where you are. Same with your brain and your thinking. Most people do not know where they are in their thinking. How many of you have found that when you try to remember, or you try to get to where you were supposed to be, or where you've put your keys, how many of you have found that you get lost in the map of your thinking? How many of you get lost? Marvelous. How many of you have forgotten things that you learnt, and you learnt them and learnt them, and you knew them, and now you don't? How many of you? Keep your hand up. Look around. 100% of 1,000 people lost. Is that good news? Not the best news. Why are you all getting lost? How many of you have found that as you are getting older, your memory is deteriorating? How many of you? Again, 100%? Except a couple of you and you forgot. How many of you are frightened of having a losing memory? How many of you are frightened? You are honest, because it is frightening. When this power is dimming, disappearing, it is really terrifying. So we now need simply to work with that and mind map it out. Please photograph that with your brain. You don't have to photograph it, because that is a mind map. You have color in it. Color is power. When there is no color, you lose the power. How many of you here have taken your color pens to take notes throughout these series of lectures today? How many of you taken your colors? 3 people. How many of you have taken your blue or black pen or pencil? Keep your hand up. Look around. How many of you love colors? So look at you. 1,000 people love colors. No, you don't. You're just going to bore yourself to death. Which is what you are doing. Because you're not a poet, artist, scientist. Your brain is dying. Your empowerment is becoming powerless. And yet you all think that you are mindful. Really? It would seem that your mind is full of what? Rubbish. You've got to be mindful in the glorious way that it actually is. So let's jump ahead. I'm going to ask you to play a game, but I'm going to ask you to review. When I walked up, there was a magazine cover. How many of you saw that? There was a magazine with a picture of people on it. How many of you saw that? So nearly already did it. So you were not mindful. I'm going to try to get it back for you. No, it's going to take technologically too long. What there was on there for 4 minutes was a magazine called Synapsia, as in synapse, Synapsia. It's a brain journal and it is to help anybody who's interested in their brains, and it focuses on all the cognitive skills, on learning, thinking, memory, all the different levels of society, especially the individual, especially the family, especially the community, especially the world, and especially obviously business and education as well. Please note it in any way you like, synapsia.net, because today is a special day on many levels, and today is the day that it was published, is published. And you were the first person ever to see it. It's online, synapsia.net. You are going to be in this magazine, because what is happening today in our conference and conferences, it is going to be reported. And the summaries will be there as well. And it is also, and somebody has my bag. May I have my bag? Thank you, kind PJ. In my bag, there is a gift for you. Because today, this is my current book. You heard in the introduction today that, how many books had I written? Yeah, over 150. Today, this is actually number 155. And it's coming out today. And it is Mind Maps for Mindfulness. How does a mind map blend and link? How do the mind maps, as you can see, keep you present, at the same time help you being in the past and the future, simultaneously being in the present. It also talks about how your brain and body, your spirit, how they come together, how yoga, meditation, all link in. So this is for this conference, and I'll give you obviously interconnectivity between the mind map and mindfulness. How many of you are mindful? Today you are going to become it more. So, this is the game we're going to play, and then we're going to launch into other new things. So first of all, what is my prime language, my first language? Okay, English. Tell me individually with volume, whichever one is your personal prime first language. Say it loud so that everybody can kind of hear the government vote, starting now. Okay. So we got a nice multiple planetary series of languages. They were all basically verbal. And I'm going to say, me, no, not English. I'm also going to say to all of you, no. not your spoken language. Definitely not. And you be the explorer. You are the one who finds or disagree with the power or the lack of power. I'm going to ask you to play this game. I want you to imagine. And again, how many of you daydream?